Yeah, that would have been my interpretation. Now, Ormond is on, folks, on the left. We'll have a look at him in a minute. They've closed up the back because there's kind of, how to say, like rehearsal prep going on. I was already told this. So, got a rope. Temperature machine is back out. Got a rope sealing the tunnel. Look at this. I would have thought they left one side open. Oh, they have, yeah. So access only here to the parade ground. Interesting. Let's see how hot it is, guys. I'm thinking we're almost certainly going to be at 30, 31, 32. Or potentially even higher. It says 32, folks. Not sure if it will be picked up because it's got the sunlight directly on it. 32 degrees, ladies and gents. How's about that? We're actually only 3 degrees, which is an extraordinary thing to think about. 3 degrees from it being too hot for the horses to work. Thank you. Sorry, I almost walked in front of this tourist who's taking a picture. Yeah, 32 degrees. You would not have believed it, actually, to be fair. Now, looking at the time, it's 12-13 minutes to 2. That means we're probably at, or we've just gone past, the hottest point of the entire day, okay? So that 32 is likely to be the absolute maximum that the temperature gauge will read in the yard. So I mean, in one respect that's a good thing. Why? Because it means that the horses are not actually going to be removed unless, one second. Somebody's asking if there's access and the police has told them no. Unless that protest does wing its way along here. We heard earlier from Tony at Downing Street, who told us that set off a little earlier from Grosvenor Place. Now, Grosvenor Place to where we're standing now is, I mean, they'd be walking slowly, to be fair. I don't know, 30 minutes, possibly an hour if they're going at snail's pace. But that certainly explains why there were far more officers than we typically see. And the vans, which I didn't focus on, that were on King Charles Street, as he mentioned, as we passed Downing Street. So, I mean, Mr. Moore looks pretty chill. And to be fair... Oh, you're back.
This is what happened earlier on.
What's this?
That was just outside Downing Street earlier on. Okay, I'm going to go, guys. I'll carry on.
Not separation.
Yeah. And read the top. Take away obviously our children, set mothers and children, not violent men. They're all looking
so people have been in abusive relationships or something?
I'm wondering why they were looking at me suspiciously. It was only after I read the bit in red.
Because you didn't read the top bit.
Violent? No.
But you mean they thought that maybe you were like the violent man as you approached them?
Maybe they're planning on all men. There was no men there, it was just women and children.
Okay, well that's understandable, I guess, especially if they've had some sort of domestic trauma.
Shout out to the kingsguard channel on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe. Alright, John, have a good day, bud.
See you soon, yeah? Okay, folks. Are we going to see the horses taken off? I mean, it's really going to depend. Actually, which other one have we got? This horse is looking longing. He's like, come and film me for a little bit. Look. I thought instinctively initially it was Tipper, but it's not Tipper, folks. It's a leader trooper who was actually pretty on it yesterday, I must say. A lot of you were quite critical when she first appeared here, but she was really on it. We just didn't have enough time really to focus on it, to be fair, because yesterday's video might have seemed, guys, like it terminated a little bit too quickly. It didn't. A friend of mine turned up, I mentioned his channel, and there were a lot of things that we needed to discuss which I thought might be a little bit too controversial for this channel. So hence we decided to... it wasn't really cut short, but I mean, the ending was more abrupt than I would typically like, so apologies for that, everybody. I'll try not to repeat the same thing today. You can see the horse is definitely like... It's hot. Trooper's very red faced as well, and so am I, to be honest, looking like a bit of a tomato. Now, last year there were only about, let me think, maybe 3 or 4 weeks maximum in the whole year with the temperatures as high as we've got today. In other words, you know, bobbing around the 30 plus mark. In other words, it's pretty dramatic. I don't know yet because I haven't looked at today's news, but it's very likely that today is a new record for May as well. They were saying that previous May record, I think, was 29.5 helicopter in the sky and the police on the phone equals, my money would guess, a likely closure. Police horses out as well. Yeah, it's got that kind of, sometimes we can anticipate the fact that someone's going to turn up here, protest or something will happen, it'll all change. The vibe is a bit off. Plus we've had a lot of fire engines today. Here's another one. Let's hope we haven't got another protester that decided to climb up the Elizabeth Tower. Incidentally, some of you asked recently, is this kind of noise usual? Guys, it is. 24 hours a day in central London. But you know what? Odd as it might sound, you get completely used to it. Your mind kind of blocks it out. You subconsciously don't even recognise that it's here. Oh, some people with pro kit. Look at this. Oh, filming for TV, guys. TV channel.
Not TV, no.
No, like a production company.
Yeah.
Okay. Bit hot for it there. Okay, so stock footage they're getting, guys, which they will sell to a TV channel. They are an independent production company. Be interesting actually, because we've seen before that production companies have turned up and have been told that they're not allowed to film unless they've got a license. However, they're not going to go in the yard. Why? Because there's no reason, I don't think, for them to go in the yard. I don't envy people shooting with that kit, folks. It is crazy heavy. To be lugging that around at 30 degrees is completely ridiculous. I wouldn't do it. But then again, I don't need to do it, luckily. At least not yet. Oh, and one's like, hey, come and say hello to me. Look, he's actually looking at this tourist. Is he thinking, you might taste very, very interesting? I mean, she doesn't know, bless her, how close she is to danger. Oh, he's still got that little nippy spirit, isn't it? It's still there. You can tell that he wants to bite somebody. This trooper, though, I don't think will let him anyway. He'll definitely shout if people get into the box. And to be honest, looking up at the clock, 6 minutes to the change. I can tell the trooper is, I wouldn't use the word struggling. Overheating, cooking, boiling up slowly. And I know exactly how he feels, and I haven't got all the kit on. Yeah, the police at the front waiting for something to happen, folks. Let's hope we at least get to see Ormond head to the yard for the dismount before they actually decide to take the horses off. Fingers crossed. Oops, here we are. Oh, attention, I guess they're Frenchies. Naughty Frenchies, get out the box. In fact, they could just paint a similar box like this on the ground outside Downing Street, and then the armed police, to all those tourists that gather outside, get out of the box. Same principle, no? And it's also on the same part of the public highway, which is owned and administered by Westminster Council. And if it works here, there's no reason it wouldn't work outside Downing Street. In fact, to be honest, outside Downing Street, they'd be more likely to move because they've got assault weapons as opposed to, just a sword, if that makes sense. Actually, Ormond, curiously enough, Ormond looks much more chill than the horse at the other end, who I think, because he's got so much hair, is overheating somewhat. Uh-oh. Police are going to the yard because we've got kids. Look at this, folks. I'm not going to zoom myself right in and run after them because they're small. Kids have walked into the stable area. You can see them coming out, look, to peer through the gates. The officer's going to tell their parents, look, keep them out of the arches. To be fair, I mean, we see a lot of adults going in there. So how are the little kids supposed to know whether or not the arches are permissible or to be kept clean and clear? In other words, there is no way of knowing, fundamentally. Simple as that. The funny thing is, the same family that walk over to this side, we can just about see the other archway where that gent is standing. I'm not sure people just want to get out of the sunshine, to be honest. I'm kind of patiently waiting for the bell myself. even though this is the slightly shady end at the moment, it's still pretty intense, folks. The humidity is super high today compared to yesterday. I guess that explains why the wet temperature is so high in the yard. Just actually glad I bought a lot of water for obvious reasons. I mean, that's probably the smartest tourist ever that arrived, saw Ormond and thought, hey, let me get a picture 50 yards away. Who's next? Oh, Chinese Special Forces. That was actually quite well done, to be honest, and he's quite a strapping young chap, so he might well actually be Chinese military. Who's next? Oh, this guy. Wait, is he an auditor? He's filming the police. Actually, maybe that's the guy that Tony was talking about earlier when he mentioned somebody approaching. Wait, let me see. He's not going up to them. Somebody approached the police and saying, like, remove your gang badge, this thin blue line badge. I don't get involved in that kind of stuff, as you know, guys, but it's a bit of a political hot potato among certain sections of the media, and definitely among auditors. And I understand why. Okay, so the police are starting to fan out. 4 in the yard now. The majority of people that came across Horse Guards Parade from the Palace and the Royal District probably turned back before they reached Horse Guards, because optically you can just about see that there's one gate open, but only if you're up close. So if you kind of walk from the Guards Memorial across Horse Guards Parade, you're going to think, hold on a second, there's nowhere to go. It's closed, it's locked, and they'll turn back. I think that's why there are far less people here today than even I was expecting. I did say it'd be quiet, but I wasn't expecting it to be, like this quiet. Ormond's concentration level is something else entirely, is it not, people? He's like, nope, it's not. Very curious, actually, about which horses will come out to replace him.
What did he say?
Nice breeze, actually, finally at this end. Ooh. A corporal of horse in full uniform like yesterday is out and about. Wait, is he actually going to do crowd control himself? It kind of looks like it at the moment. Curious. Very curious. Oh. Right, this is the point at which we go against the flow, everybody. They're coming out, which means we go in. Simple as that. Why? Because I can get out of the sun. Actually, I can't, funnily enough. Well, I mean, actually, no, I can't. Look, because it's much later in the day than is typical, that's the line. In other words, if I stand there, I can't see anything, fundamentally. So not ideal, but it'll do. Yeah, 32.2 degrees. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, nice timing. A nice empty yard, guys, to be fair. Look at this. And I'm still hoping we'll get Ormond coming closer to the camera than he did yesterday. Okie dokie. Who's this big cloppy cutie? I can't see until he looks at us. To be here. We'll see if the day already. I'm trying to look at that big blaze, actually, folks. More fire engines going past on Whitehall. Something is up today. Horse really wants to be horsey picture of the day. Is it Vanguard? I'm not sure, folks. Look, he really wants to be poking his cheeky little face around the edge of the box. I bet they've got like a little competition going in the yard. Oh, here comes Mr. Mon. Look at him strutting his stuff in. Oh, today's walking right into the camera. Hello. One's like, nope. So hoping that we'd get to see him on briefly in the video, folks, but to actually get him in the video and then also getting him for the dismount, amazing. Goodbye for now, your lordship. I think we'd all agree, folks, that not only was it unexpected that he reappeared back on duty, but in fact he's been on duty so much in the past few days. Again, Corporal of Horse doing the honours with the box. Okay, if it's not too busy at the front, and I'm not expecting that it will be, I'll try and get... Oh, sorry, my apologies. I almost walked into the Corporal then. We both said sorry at the same time. I'll try and get an ID on this one. 1 second. Right, which one is this? I'm convinced it's Vanguard. Wait. I mean, he was so keen on being horse of the day, folks, that we can't disappoint him, can we? Look, he's actually looking at the camera waiting for... Oh, obviously now he's got all shy. Oh, she's in the box. It's okay. Cheers, thanks for stopping there. It's always stopped right there so I can take my picture. I like to try and get the trooper's head exactly between the horse's ears, but it's kind of rare that the horse actually decides to be that cooperative, folks. It's pure luck half the time when I get a picture like that. It just kind of works optically. Wait. Come on, horsey, you scoundrel, do it. No, he's not in the mood, guys. Look. Come on, one more. Almost there. No, not quite. But let me just check the ID, guys, for all of you. Instinctively I would have said Vanguard, but you know what? I'm not sure. 1 second. This will be the only ID I do because I'm not happy having the phone out for the reasons I've outlined before. Interesting enough, it's saying that there's no connection, which means it won't let me scroll down the horse list. Yeah, more please. Oh guys, the joys of living in central London, isn't it a wonderful place? The last try with the list, if it doesn't want to open this time, it's going to have to wait. Okay, it did open this time, and the horse is Vanguard. Damn, I'm actually getting pretty good at this horsey naming business. Yeah, Mr. Vanguard. Now, I think, although we will have a look at the other end, we'll concentrate primarily on this end for two reasons. We know that this trooper is no nonsense completely. Actually, it's the gent that was here yesterday when I was talking to the young ladies about the number in the boot. Yeah, we know he's absolutely no nonsense at all with people getting too close. He's got the cooler end for the moment, so he's probably delighted about that. Yesterday he was at the other end. Trying to avoid the school group on the right. There are plenty of people here, and yet more turning up, folks, streaming through the gate. From Italy, I do believe. God, I hope that's the Italian flag, or I'm like a total idiot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Obviously, the second I haven't got the other camera out, the horse is posing perfectly and framing the trooper's head between his ears. I think though, actually, folks, almost everybody that's going to turn up here and stop from that school group. We've got the same people going like, again, coughing and spluttering all over the place with probably hay fever or maybe some kind of, like, you know, pollen allergy or whatever. But the amount of noise, in fact, when people are kind of losing it and sneezing in my ear. I hope it doesn't come up as loud for you guys in the audio as it does for me, because it's embarrassing. Yesterday, in fact, after we'd finished filming, and I was having a chat with my friend there, one tourist came out and sneezed super loudly all over his arm. It was visible all on his arms. We had to wash it off with a water bottle. It's like disgusting. Can you imagine? They actually do that sometimes. The troop was just about to hit the emergency button, then the horse, it looked like, was going to slip. If that happens, I immediately move the camera away, or this video will never see the light of day. So which horse is it? 1 second, guys. No, there are too many people behind me. It's not. I'm not comfortable to take the phone out again. Can you drop the name, guys, into the comments, please? We've got 2 white socks at the rear, and star, I guess, pretty much. I actually do think the trooper thought for a second the horse might have taken a. I don't think for a second the horse would have actually fallen, but possibly have gone down onto 2 legs. Yeah, it's been a while actually since I saw anyone smash the button. But then again, I tend generally to avoid those videos because they might lead to something else bad happening. It's like, is it worth the risk? I don't think it is, to be honest. But unless any tourists come along, it doesn't really matter what I think. Everyone to my right are school groups, so we need to focus here for a minute, if and until they all leave. Okay, Miss Brazil. Only problem is, she and the horse can't fit in the picture. There's not enough space. Alas, never mind. Okay, maybe she goes back further. There we are. And there's another one on my left with an interesting beret. A bit hot for that now. Sounds like a cheetah or leopard print beret. Okay, school group's leaving. Gosh, can you imagine being a teacher, folks, supervising a massive group of school kids when it's 30 flipping degrees? Way too hot now. Like considerably too hot. The yard is pretty much deserted at this point. The expression on her face sums it up perfectly. Help me. I'm boiling. In fact, melting. This gent's got it the right way. However, it's a curious thing because I wondered to myself how different it was a year ago. So last night I was watching the video that I took on this day last year. And that was really interesting to me to see, purely because of the fact that, ladies and gents, we knew there'd be a big difference, but I didn't realise just how big the difference would be. In other words, it's almost the exact opposite of what we have these days. Reasonably civilised, reasonable. I mean, it's not even about being civilised, I guess. It's sort of, people are more apprehensive now. One, because there's a box, and 2, because there are far less people anywhere near the horses. But, and the thing that really made me think, whoa, this is crazy. In the part I posted earlier today, did you notice, guys, how many small children were crowded around the horse padding it, effectively just outside the box? I mean, the sentry box, not the box on the ground, which didn't exist back then. Now, if we think about how many times a horse had a meltdown since, another one straight through the box. Look at this. Just take a stroll through. It is an absolute miracle, and I don't use that word lightly. It's a miracle that no kid has been trampled or had some kind of accident, God forbid, involving the horse. Hugely so. That actual video from this day last year is a two-parter. So I published the first part this morning, and I'll publish the second part probably tomorrow morning. I did mention trying to do 2 videos a day, publishing that is, not necessarily shooting, but we'll see as we go into the summer. Because don't forget, even though it's boiling hot today, we're not in tourist season yet. Oh, that's nice. This lovely lady said hello to the trooper. She walked up. I'm not sure if you heard that. Hello. Oh, a little wave for the trooper.
Tu me prends après? C'est beau, encore? Non!
I'm getting they're like, how do you say, ne touchez pas le cheval?
Touche pas le cheval.
Cheval, that's it, yeah, sorry, ne touchez pas le cheval, yeah.
Touche pas le cheval. C'est bon.
Can we take a picture of all 3 of you together? With your phone, you sure? It's way too hot now as well, it's like crazy. Hey, enjoy, guys. Yeah, she's right, in fact, the lady standing next to me is really hot. Really nice actually to see that very polite gent there, French gent, giving a little bit of a nod to the trooper. And the trooper responded. That's a whole van load of police, by the way, folks, behind us. Something is definitely going to happen. I think what I'll do, when I finish this video and I'm walking back towards the other end, I'll probably keep it rolling just to see if we do end up catching a parade. Oh, hold on. This is a regular. She's been here and in at least 50 videos. One small problem, she's not allowed in the box. So she's taking her shoes off and she's hoping and pretending from outside the box that she can touch the horse. In fact, there are 2. She's one of a twin. Where's her twin? I'm genuinely shocked actually that she's walking along the London streets with no shoes. She's marched off with no shoes on. Folks, like how? There's all kinds of little sharp objects, stones, litter, dirt. It's like germ world. Oh, she's in the box. Is the trooper going to say? Not quite, not in time. It's the 15 past bell. I cannot believe that anybody would walk anywhere in central London barefooted. I mean, possibly around the fountain in Trafalgar Square. But here, oh my gosh, folks, if I look at the ground, the amount of dirt and horse poo and stuff, it's filthy. Petro Nor. What's that, folks? Petro Nor. That sounds French. One tour group have been led in, and they've stopped here in the corner, a giant group. Actually, wait, it's a flipping massive group. The interesting thing being, I think they're wondering why there are no troopers either side. Let's really hope that after VE celebration is done, after the King's Troopers bin, and had their likely 2 weeks here. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, we walked out an interesting moment. What's going on here then? Oh, troopers are out of the box. He didn't realise what the trooper was asking him. I was thinking that looks a bit menacing, like 3 guys were about to... Oh, he thought that there's another one. Oh, flipping hell. How do they not get it? This guy on the right, Mr. Hilfiger, thought the trooper was asking what he'd just been buying in the shops. He's like, what's this with his bag? Interesting. Trooper's willing to engage actually with the tourists. I mean, she's like plonked herself in the box, so I don't really understand what's going on now. Electric lime scooter going through the box is what's happening now. They don't know which language that was, by the way, as well, folks. I thought they were speaking Arabic initially, but that definitely was not Arabic. Like a mass invasion of the box was about to happen then. Not one of them understood what the trooper was trying to tell them. So it wasn't intentional. You could see how awkward that was, but he managed to clear the box 3 times. Quite impressive, eh? Who's next? Oh, cowboy. He's got on his Stetson. Howdy, y'all. Looks like I'm watching an episode of Yellowstone right now. They're actually French. I was convinced he was American. I think they're French. It sounds like French to me. This guy's got the right idea. That's how to dress, folks, if you want to stay cool in London. Not only that, in fact, a spare bottle. So the usual full chilled water bottle, which, to be honest, I've almost drunk, and a second water bottle of the same size, 1.2 litres. So if I get through the 2 bottles by the time I finish and get home, that will be 2 litres in under 3 hours. That's quite a lot, isn't it? Mr. Vanguard. That was great to see that, guys. I did say before that we've seen that trooper a few times. He's one of the newer troopers in the Blues, actually, but he is absolutely not shy, is he, about dealing with tourists, even when they come into the box in multiples. Actually, one other interesting thing is that I haven't had any overheating on the kit. It's really hot, actually, if I touch the gimbal motor, but it's not about to give up, I can tell you that. Have no fear. Plus, we're reasonably close. I mean, 56, between 10 and 15 minutes, I think, until the end. I won't go over time today because there won't actually be enough time to publish the video if I do. Bear in mind, it's already 20 past 2. Yikes. Is that it? Have they finished? Any more tourists? Or actually, annoying, interesting ones are at the other end where we just left. Things I don't like being in the same spot for too long. It just feels a bit awkward. Incidentally, guys, we did capture the former deputy PM in yesterday's video, accidentally, of course. So thank you to the person that popped that into the comments. We haven't caught many celebrities, actually, oddly enough. I think probably the most famous single person we ever caught was not Nigel Farage, there was another MP. Who was it? That video where the gent went to shake the MP's hand and the MP just ignored him. I forgot the name of the MP. Damn it wasn't Boris Johnson, but it was somebody that was super well known. at the time. He was really in the media, had a huge public profile. Oh, the Cowboys, the French Cowboys back. He's not in the box. Oh, they are together. I'm just thinking that was super odd the way they marched in. Ta-da! Police graze behind me. Going back for watering, no doubt. Interesting enough, they've come from Parliament Square, so I'm pretty sure there'll be something happening there, as mentioned before. Okay, she's super scared of the horse, look. Look. She's laughing now, she doesn't want to get any closer. Those are my favourite kind of tourists, to be honest, the ones that are absolutely petrified of a horse. Her partner's edging her on, so I think she'll take the risk if this guy ever finishes. Okay. Super awkward. If the horse moves, she's going to run. Honestly, look. If the horse's head even comes this way, she's look. She's, I don't know. She's off. Obviously, I don't get it, but I guess for some people, this is the first time they've actually ever either one, seen a horse in real life, or two, seen and stood so close to a horse in real life. I think, to be honest, if I found myself that close to a lion, I'd probably have a similar response. I.e. petrified. Oh, there we are. Guy and his kid told to get out of the box. This guy here, bending over now, is one who just went, ooh, next to me. Ooh. Actually, I have to keep moving through because more and more people are taking pictures on my right. And it feels a bit awkward to be standing like kind of exactly in the frame, to be fair. So we've got possibly 5 to 10 minutes left. It's difficult to decide because those funny guys are at the other end now. They've gone into the other box. The trooper just gestured, he moved straight out again. The police actually are standing behind the roped off area in the tunnel. Probably actually, to be honest, to keep out of the direct sunshine. Smart. Nobody will want to be standing in this. Almost everybody that is passing here is extremely sweaty and sticky, myself included, to be fair. What's this bro doing? I'm not sure if he's filming the horse or he's filming everyone else that's filming the horse. See the guy next to the fence, folks? Actually, wait, who is it? I didn't recognise him. Oh, somebody's got an old camera. Look at this. Shooting some kind of special footage. Yeah. So we'll keep him on the video. For the same reason he kept me on his video a minute ago. Don't know who he is, no idea, nor do I care, but it's always good just in case in the future. You never know what you capture, folks. Oh, tourists behind us are just discussing where they want to go and have their lunch, which is curious. The suggestion is Soho House. Ladies and gents, avoid it. It's a members club, but it's a trashy one. Good chance that the last few people we see approaching the horse, if in fact we do see anyone else approaching the horse, they'll be the last ones. It's curious, look, I mean, it's packed, as you can see. Very, very, very far from being super quiet. For some reason, the office is out of this end. I wonder if a protest or something else is expected today. Oh, there we are. We caught that beautifully, didn't we? And unexpectedly at the last moment. One thing I'm not sure whether we've ever seen, folks, have we ever seen anybody being told to get out of the box, and then because they've been sort of so shocked or taken aback by the reprimand, as they've tried to move, they've slipped or fallen over? Have we ever seen that? Does that exist? I don't personally recall ever having seen that, but I'm sure it must have happened. If it hasn't, it will. One day. So the same reason everything happens once, one day. Okay, so the last few tourists, he's deciding on to straighten the sign. He's like, it's not quite straight, but do I take the risk of straightening it and get shouted at? Now, the good thing we have seen, guys, having just stumbled across that, both this end and the troop at the other end, completely on it today. How's about that? But then again, it's quite easy to enforce the box really strictly and cleanly when it's not absolute chock solid 11:30, 12 noon guard change day. So it's understandable when we see everything operating like clockwork on days, afternoons like today. The only thing I'm genuinely surprised about, really honestly surprised about, is the fact that we haven't seen the horses being watered during shift today. You know, we're over 30 degrees, as the temperature measuring device showed us twice on this video, and they're watering. Very curious. When we think back to how often the horses were watered last year, I mean, obviously they're being monitored, as is the temperature, but I would certainly have expected either a little wet pat down or potentially a trooper getting a bath, like that little bit of classic footage that I reposted yesterday. These will be our last couple. Are any of them going to get in the box? And that's what you're wondering. I'm wondering the same thing. Instinctively, I don't think they will. Plus, if they do, actually, there are so many people now around and behind me that I think they will get shouted at if they do. Yeah, that's my best guess. Come on, tourists, roll up. Your last 1, 2, 3 tourists. There has to be at least one person more in the video. As far back as possible, in all honesty. There's not a single person in the yard right now. It's completely deserted, folks. So any of you wondering, when should I come to Horse Guards? Either a weekday afternoon, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the quietest because we don't have guard changes at the palace or here, or failing that, the last hour on Sundays, in other words 3 o'clock. Okay, no more tourists are coming back, they're all standing way behind. So after this gent, just getting his picture head on, we will likely call it a day. Ta-da! He was, guys, our last tourist, I think. Actually, wait, they're deciding if they want to bother posing. I don't think they will, though. I think everybody's finished and heading off. And you know what? That's my cue to do the same. Folks, thanks for stopping by. I'll be back real soon. Bye for now, guys.